Good morning. When Pastor Zach asked us to speak about how God is or has transformed our lives, I think using the word transform was deliberate, even though today's gospel is about the transfiguration of Christ. I don't think any of us can relate to or expect to be transfigured like Jesus was. However, if any of you are heading up to a high place, to have that experience, please invite me to go with you. I would like to witness that. But I don't think I can promise to keep it a secret. So anyway, given that, I'd like to frame my remarks with a different gospel text, so you get a bonus text today, the parable of the four soils. It's 4 pages back from where we were. If you'd like to follow along, it's on 794 in the Bibles in front of you. Matthew chapter 13, verses 3 through 8. And he told them many things in parables, saying, "Listen, the sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell on the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil. And they sprang up quickly, since they had no depth of soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched. And since they had no root, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Now, this is the only parable where Jesus actually explains its meaning to us, which is actually one I think I sort of got, so I wish sometimes he would have explained some of the more obscure ones, but he chose to explain this one. So that's in 18 through 23. Here then, the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches it away. Snatches away what is sown in the heart. This is what was sown on the path. As for what was sown on rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word immediately and receives it with joy. Yet such a person has no root, but endures only for a while, and when trouble or persecution arises on account of the word, that person immediately falls away. As for what was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the lure of wealth choke the word and yields nothing. But as for what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields, in one case 100-fold, in another 60, and another 30. So how does this gospel lesson explain my personal reflection on how God has transformed me, and how I believe he can transform you as well? First, an illustration. Early in our congregation's life, this congregation's life, there was a person in our congregation who was extremely enthusiastic about this mission congregation, and was deeply involved and actively involved in the early stages of our development. Then, suddenly and unexpectedly, stopped and left the congregation. When asked why, he simply said, "I'm not being spiritually fed anymore." I wasn't sure what that meant, or what it takes for one to feel spiritually fed. But what I think I came to realize is that there was an expectation that every Sunday would be filled with a mountaintop experience that would wholly satisfy one's need for spiritual fulfillment. But, more importantly, for me, what I was starting to hear and beginning to understand is that if God was going to be an active part of my life, I needed to be active in pursuing my relationship and understanding of God and this mysterious faith. It wasn't going to come to me and stick once a week on Sunday mornings. There are many distractions in this world, and we as imperfect human beings are subject to all of them. I fail to understand the word and fall prey to other influences. Sometimes it rings true with intensity, but when tested, it falls away. Or perhaps it's drowned out entirely. But I found that when it sticks, when it hits my good soil, it's most often because I've been actively pursuing a deeper understanding of Christianity and an understanding of how we teach it theologically in the Lutheran tradition and in other denominations as well. Now, transformation in the Christian faith sometimes happens suddenly and is triggered by a significant event or an experience. And that's legitimate for sure. But for most, including me, it is a persistent, steady process of learning and participating in one's own faith development and understanding. So how? Well, there are many ways, I'm sure. But for me, it has been an intentional decision to seek and to participate in my own faith development. Through Bible study, seeking involvement in the church in many ways at the local, synod, or even the national level, serving in various ways, and developing an understanding of Lutheran worship. And I still have a long way to go. But as I go, I find it easier and more joyful to share what I have, time, abilities, finances, to support and grow this church. Yes, here at Living Waters, but everywhere. And it can happen for you too. And for many of you, I know it has. We've heard it. We've heard it today. And I know there are others as well. But I would suggest to you that it is not likely to happen solely through passive participation once a week on Sunday mornings. I mean, shoot, Pastor Zach has been here, 3-4 weeks, and has already confessed that he has preached a dud of a sermon once. Not going to predict anything, but I'm just going to suggest that it's possible. It just might be possible that there may be a sermon in the future that's not going to knock your socks off. Maybe somebody else's, but maybe not yours. So get active in your faith development. Then you can be transformed. It might even sneak up on you. But you'll begin to find good soil, and your faith will take deeper and deeper root. Don't get discouraged, and don't feel like you're the only one who doesn't understand something, no matter how fundamental it may seem, or that it's too late. Nothing could be further from the truth. Most of my faith development and growth has come as an adult, and more specifically since coming here to Living Waters. But it will take some effort. Participate in a Bible study. Go buy and study Bible. Get a Life Application Bible. Study Bible. You can find it at all kinds of places. Go connect with the synod and church life. Go to the congregational resourcing event that was up there on the announcements. Go to synod assembly. Serve and worship it through outreach and stewardship, or in many other ways. But if you do, it will deepen your faith, and yes, it will transform your life. That's fine. Well, thank you, everyone. That was fantastic. That's fine. It's fine. He's going to make sure that the sermon's coming soon. No, he's not a dud. I can guarantee it's going to happen again. But that was fantastic. This is great. And yes, so there is a distinction. I should have started with this. There is a distinction between transformation and transfiguration, right? Transfiguration is a holistic change into our appearance. That's going to come later. It's not going to happen to us yet, right? That's the fulfillment. But transformation happens now, as we just heard. Again, let's give another round of applause. Thanks for our leaders. Yes. It's not always easy to come up here and share, even though that's what we're called to do. Sometimes God pushes us. It's very exciting. And I gotta go, Lance. Real quick, I was thinking about this week. I was joining our leaders, right? I don't ask you to do anything I won't do most of the time. And so, it
was funny at this conference. So for me, how God has transformed me, there's a lot of different examples, but the most obvious is my call. We're all called to vocations in life. Mine just happens to be this one. But it was funny. I've told some of you this already, but my dad was a chemist. My mom was a math teacher. So naturally, I did not do anything related to math or science, which I struggled with. I went back and forth a lot. I kept being like, feeling God's call and presence in my life, and I kept being like, nope, no, I don't like public speaking. I'm bad at that. God kept pulling me back. I've done, I joke, I know the ELCA really well because I worked at all these different, I went to camp. I went to discernment tools. I worked with Senates. I went to ELCA college. I went to ELCA seminary because I kept being like, no, and someone would pull me back in. Campus ministry, right? And so this week, it was funny because at this conference, I kept running into people that I had seen at all these things years ago, right? I saw people from camp. I saw people from seminary. I saw people from discernment tools back in high school when I was thinking about going to seminary, right? And that was really cool. It was really neat to be able to catch up with people. It was really awesome to hear how God had transformed their lives. And it helped me remember that too. And it kind of is a foreshadowing of the feast, foretells the feast to come, right? The day we'll all be gathered back together. So, that's how God has transformed my life in 2 minutes. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And this is also my perfect point to say, Lent is coming. And our Lenten program this year is an invitation for transformation. We will be discerning how God has created you, how God has called you, and what gifts God has given you to carry that out, okay? It's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be rooted in Scripture, in science. Yes, we're going to use both. The arts team's going to have this fantastic interactive piece. I'm very, very excited for it. So please join us Wednesdays or catch up sessions on Sunday in between services.